you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you want little good stories, if you're happy and you know it, fuck it, man. Hey, our topic is about a company wait, I have not prepared myself. Every day I think, man, I have prepared myself for a good stream, a fun stream, a something which would be entertaining. I keep misdelivering. This is my what? How much attempt? What is my attempt now? How how low did I fell? Oh, how many videos have I published? Let's see. Content, channel. Is there a way to see how many videos you have sent, posted, published? 24 videos. This is my 24th attempt at making something entertaining. And I still don't have Orco Provo. Where is my cover art? Man, sucks. It sucks. But you don't suck. Welcome to the 14th March, a completely different day from my previous stream. 14th March stream at 12:35 a.m. So late. It's a late night show. It's late show with Abhinandan. It's like Stephen Colbert, but super shitty. Anyways, where is my stream, man? Where is my stream? And where is my thumbnail? Ah, I just keep asking for things. Nothing is coming up in front of me. How are you guys, man? There's zero people watching. I did this entire segment with zero people watching. I think I should do it like that. Make things entertaining for people. Let's go, Aryan. Let's go. Yeah. So, I don't know why I'm streaming for in that case. There's no one watching. Anyways, did I share it my story? No, I did not. If I don't, how the frick are people supposed to know? I did my entire bit, my entire opening. That was so good. But no one saw that. That is shitty. That is so stupid. Why would I not post? Anyways, I think we should go to home and put something interesting at the screen. So if someone watches, it will stick. It will stick. What we can see. What can we see? We can see. Ding 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 ding. Oh, we would see this.
Why is a son?
No. Why I fear, man, corporate companies making videos. That is so annoying. Yeah, this would be fun.
Stephen Strange, you are now called before the Illuminati. Meet the smartest man alive, Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Bazinga!
He said the word. He said Bazinga. Let's watch some Morbius memes. Man, I wish Morbius memes. No, I can't do it. It's a completely separate video. I love Morbius. That would be the video. Man, I have to write it down, write it down, write it down, write it down. Stream ideas, topics. I love Morbius. That is an amazing topic. That would be a banger right there. I just straight up making a playlist about all the Morbius videos on the internet, summarize it, and publish that brain rot in the internet, and really show support. Like I showed support to the Morbius movie. Financially, I want to do that. I want to do that exact same thing. I want Morbius 2 in my life. Sony, please bring Morbius 2. I beg you. Listen, I went to see Morbius 1 in theaters alone. There was no one. I will pay again. I want to see more Morbius. Morbius is such an amazing thing to watch. Anyways, okay. What else is there? I think this would be ERVs are good, but we can see this as well. Like maybe it get DMCA'd. I don't know. Why is there so many like how do bureaucracies work in 58 seconds? That's something interesting.
You think that Ford are going to let you build the car that you want, the way you want it? The Ford Motor Company. Those guys. Have you ever been to Detroit? I mean, they have floors and floors of lawyers and millions of marketing guys, and they're all going to want to meet you. Oh, they're going to want to get their photo taken with the great Carol Shelby, and they're going to kiss your ass, and they're going to go back to their lovely offices, and they're going to work out new ways to screw you. Why? Because they can't help it because they just want to please their boss, who wants to please his boss, who wants to please his boss. And they hate themselves for it. But deep down, who they hate even more are guys like you, because you're not like them, because you don't think like them, because you're different.
It's coming straight from the deuce.
That's a good, that's a good one. What we can do is use this as your ringtone. No, wait! That's a bop. That's a hit. I will do that. I have my ringtone long overdue. That was goated. Let me just send this to myself on WhatsApp. Yeah, we are back. Okay. So I think no one is going to join us. I believe that. So, in that occasion, we would not dispense this anymore. Why would we? Make this compact, make this fun. Let's do it.
Tupperware, the classic brand of food storage containers, has been having trouble. I mean, things are looking bad just about any way you want to approach it. The company sales have been falling consistently, practically cut in half compared to a decade ago. It has lost almost all of its value on the stock market over that time, dropping from $95 per share to less than $1 at this point. In April of 2023, one of their SEC filings stated that if the company was not able to secure more cash, it would likely not be able to continue operating. They later announced that they were hiring financial advisors to figure out how to relieve the issue, and they did do some debt restructuring, but ultimately Tupperware was forced to file for bankruptcy in September of 2024, citing over $1 billion in liabilities with only $680 million in assets, obviously a troubling ratio. I cannot blame the news outlets for taking this opportunity to print all these creative headlines saying the party is over, or Tupperware lifts the lid on its financial problems. I like that one, but honestly, I always find it sad when something like this happens to such an iconic, even revolutionary brand. I know, you might be shocked to hear me use those words to describe it, but I promise I am not exaggerating. There is so much to respect about Tupperware. In this video, I want to talk about the history of the brand while outlining what I believe to be 5 of the biggest reasons behind its decline. Starting off with Tupperware parties, potentially the biggest single reason behind their rise and their fall. I think all of this is so interesting. Tupperware is named after its inventor, Earl Tupper, who started a plastics company in the 1930s, became successful in the 1940s during World War II by manufacturing plastic parts for gas masks, and shortly after the war shifted his focus to the general public. He did it by inventing the plastic food storage containers that he named after himself. I cannot tell you much about the exact chemistry of it, but the existing plastics were black, brittle, smelly, while the new type of plastic that Tupper had invented was clear, durable, and odorless. On top of that, he invented this patented seal for it that was inspired by seals that were used for paint cans, and in the end, he had an extremely useful line of containers for storing food. The issue was that these containers were so revolutionary, so unlike anything people had seen before, that the
Happy Holi, bhai. Happy Holi. Hey, this is an interesting fact. Like, this company has always delivered like the best products. Like the Indian household, not only Indian, even worldwide, people default call these containers Tupperware. Yeah, just bring me my Tupperware. Oh, Tupperware का डिब्बा वहाँ पे है ना ले लो. This is a brand that has been there, never increased prices, never changed the product. It has always been the same ever since it was launched, just got better. They never enshittified their product. They never made sure like a product that is worse enough for the people so that they would buy a lot of them every time it gets like bad. They don't do that. This is a completely different approach they had. They really had a perfect company going on. A good product that was good for the market, and that was just amazing. Whopper. No, no, it's not Whopper. It's Tupperware. But that's what the brand was. The containers were called Tupperware. It was a verb. It is amazing that they failed. It's like it just says a lot about society. Like a company who genuinely strives for innovation and changes, um, like making sure their product, they have a cheap product and an expensive product, and the expensive product is good, but the cheap product is really like not very prominent. It might get destroyed, it might get corroded, whatever happens to the containers. They made sure the product was good. They and it was kept on being good while keeping the same price. It was not a like a evil company. It genuinely was not an evil company. And it's surprising how a stable company can just होली पी के भांग मत खेलो. Bro, is it's just 12:44 and I think Blood had edibles in at 12 and it's kicking him in right now. This is so weird thing to say, bhai. Happy Holi, Ghosh. Happy Holi, Lost Worlds. Happy Holi, Hallmark. Anyways, what I was telling is, yeah, this was a great company. This is genuinely great company, and it's sad that a stable company like that cannot survive the. Oh, my muscles hurt. I did my chest today and it hurt. Okay. Anyways, the company is growing exponentially, and people expect stocks to rise up or go down. This was just a flat stock, and that's why it made sense. It sucks.
Customers were intimidated by the idea of having plastic in their home, especially touching their food, confused by how to use the new seal on the lid, and overall not receptive to it at all. So the solution was to hold
भाई
Tupperware
माइका कुछ
parties to
किया?
get people
No, bro. Nothing yet. Nothing of mention, nothing of good vibes has been done yet about the mic, and अभी भी यही वाला चल रहा है. So let's see. Let's hope for whatever. I am thinking of sending this video to my entire college. I don't know why. Should I? That would be embarrassment at its peak. But at the same time, the growth that this channel might have would be interesting. Should I send this stream to my live stream to my entire college, like my college group, third year? That would be crazy.
people more familiar with the product and to demonstrate all the advantages of it. See, following World War II, a record number of people moved out to the suburbs to start a family. There was a baby boom, and many women were staying home to take care of their children and maintain their house full time. These were perfect circumstances for a company called
As
Stanley
usual,
Home to
I am
start hosting parties to demonstrate and sell their cleaning products. One of the people who would demonstrate them was a really good saleswoman named Brownie Wise, and she was the one who recognized that the format would be successful when applied to Tupperware. So she started her own company selling Tupperware at parties before Earl Tupper hired her as VP of Marketing at his company to officially adapt the sales strategy that quickly became somewhat of a sensation. Brownie Wise became the person that the public
badass.
associated with the brand. She was famously the first woman to appear on the cover of Business Week, and within a few years, there was a network of thousands of independent consultants hosting these parties. To be clear, they did not work for Tupperware, but instead received a percentage from the products that they sold, and the top seller
She sold Tupperware so well. She was such a good marketer that the company had to hire the seller as their marketing tool. Damn. Do you know, man? Who doesn't know Marilyn Monroe?
sellers would be rewarded with various bonuses and prizes. Overall, I would say this was a really cool thing for the time. It was a fun way for women to make extra money while still maintaining their home and spreading the word about a useful new product.
The one way to buy Tupperware is a fun way. At a Tupperware home party.
However, you can see how this marketing strategy has become less effective. There are far more women in the workforce, and I would not guess that many people are still intimidated by the idea of a plastic food container. So, given those circumstances, it would probably be smart to have less reliance on direct-to-consumer sales and refocus those efforts toward more popular channels like retail stores and the internet, where most people tend to buy this kind of thing. I don't mean to sound too critical here, but all of this sounds kind of obvious, right? But Tupperware has been remarkably slow in doing it. In the early 1950s, when the party started gaining traction, the company stopped selling their products in retail stores and have not even tried to return them in a big way until the past few years. It wasn't until 2022 when they finally started selling Tupperware in Target stores, and in 2024 they started selling it in Macy's. In the 1990s, the company
Wait, I'll answer your question after this entire bit.
specifically had a policy restricting independent consultants from selling Tupperware online, saying that the in-person demonstrations are far more valuable than anything they can do over the internet. They did start selling products on their own website shortly after, but never in a big enough way. Even today, only 13% of their products
It sounds very misogynistic, man. It just sounds so misogynistic to me. Just like it was targeted to women at household, but let's be real. At that point of time, that was what the situation was. So it was good marketing. But like always catering these containers to women, that's so weird. Like it's good if they pivoted. That's good. Like I might also be a customer of a container. I'm pretty sure I am. Every person in the planet is a potential customer to a container. Everyone needs a container. That's like the basic thing. Happy Women's Day today? No. Today is not Women's Day. Women's Day is 5th March. Uh, Today is not Women's Day. Today is Holi. Happy Holi.
are available on their website, and it took until 2022 to start selling them on Amazon. In Tupperware's bankruptcy filing, they do recognize the errors, but I think almost anyone would agree that these adjustments so far have been too little too late. Another reason behind their decline is competition from all different angles. Like I said, decades ago when it was first introduced, Tupperware was a one-of-a-kind product, arguably better than any other alternative on the market, and that is not
तू समझा नहीं. Nah, I don't think I did.
quite the case today. In the 1980s, Rubbermaid started offering comparable products, splitting the market in a major way for the first time, and that market has since been split in so many other directions. The word itself, Tupperware, has become almost synonymous with food storage containers. Like, people use that word to describe any container like that, right? Going into this video,
What do you understand by misogyny? By today's feminist standards, every aspect of human history is misogynistic. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case because if they were the oppressed, they were taken for granted. So obviously, by historic perspectives, yeah, history has been misogynistic. That's very true. And yes, today's feminist standards have right to say do so. I believe that. Why won't they? Why would I don't know. Why would I be referred to only a person who can use hammer? Why would hammers be a curated thing just for men? Why not for anyone? Like everyone can use a hammer. It's not like women can't or transgender can't. That's not possible. Uh, yeah, that's my stance. Anyways, let's pause the video.
you may not have even realized that Tupperware is an actual brand instead of a general term, and that is an issue for them.
Darwin's theory of evolution. So, yeah, okay.
Picture that when someone searches the word Tupperware on the internet, the results are filled with competing brands. It is to a point where Tupperware no longer
Why I said this reason is thing. This is the thing you are watching. What does it mean? Why? What does it mean, Somraj? Why I said this reason is the thing you're watching. I'm watching Tupperware. I
stands out in the way that
decided
it
it a long time ago. Yeah, that's crazy.
used to, and has mostly gotten lost in the shuffle. Also, in the 1990s, Gladware came out with disposable containers. Ziploc followed soon after, and together they took over a sizable portion of that market, being that they're typically cheaper and more convenient. Tupperware, as far as I could tell, has always been a quality product that is built to last. Seriously, people used to really value this stuff. It almost sounds like a joke, but they would pass it down to their children. I'm sure that some of the people watching this have Tupperware in their home that has been in their family for decades. Let me know if that's the case. And if you ever gave food to somebody inside of a Tupperware container, you better believe that you expected to get that container back. But sometimes you just want to put food in something and not have to worry about the container so much. It is relieving to just throw it away when you're done. But when disposable containers were really starting to gain traction in the early 2000s, Tupperware said that they never even considered making that type of product. Their CEO at the time said, "I'm holding a disposable pen. I will lose 2 or 3 of these a week, but my better pens, I always know where they are," which honestly might be a solid argument, but looking back, it is hard to see this as anything but a missed opportunity. Another potential reason behind the decline would be acquisitions. There is so much to this. In 1958, I want to mention that founder Earl Tupper fired Brownie Wise. He was planning to sell the company. I guess he felt she was too outspoken and that it would be easier to sell it if she was not part of it. He did sell it later that year for $16 million to a company called Rexall Drug that later
Only $16 million. That was the entire cost. That was crazy. $16 million for such a big company? That's a deal, right?
changed its name to Dart Industries, losing 2 of the most important people in that same year. In 1980, Dart Industries merged with Kraft, one of the biggest mergers in U.S. history at the time, but then they separated from each other in 1986. A decade later, Tupperware was spun off into its own company, and that is how they have operated ever since. I know, that is a lot. I recommend this video I made about Kraft if you want to hear a little more detail, but right here...
Man, Kraft is such a big company. You guys have no idea how big Kraft is. Neil, how is doing? 8 people watching. Man, that's crazy. So what I was saying is Kraft is a huge company. Kraft always does acquisitions. Kraft subsidiaries. You might have heard about subsidiaries. You might have heard about some of them. These are one of the biggest companies in the world. They have Dunkin' ice cream. So Dunkin' Donuts is segregation. General Mills ice cream. I think they have Cadbury. They have Oreo. These are the brands that they own. This is crazy. You look at this. These are the brands that they own. That is. Did I just witness Anupam Kher in black and white? Where? Where did you see Anupam Kher, man? What? Bhai, what are you talking about? Anyways, Kraft is a huge company, and them acquiring Tupperware and then spinning it off as a separate entity, that is a big thing, man.
I'm just theorizing that all of this was distracting and potentially harmful to the brand. Shortly after that merger with Kraft, things started going downhill for
Oh, what
Tupperware,
happened?
especially in the United States. I 19
From
in this video I made about Kraft. If you
okay.
Tupperware was the biggest merger, losing two of the most important.
This is not Anupam Kher in any stretch of imagination. This cannot be Anupam Kher. I lost him. I lost that clip. I lost the entire thing. Where is it? Man, we saw this entire thing. Yeah, see, this is not Anupam Kher. Wait. Anupam Kher. This, let's do BMW. Yeah, yeah. See, this person is not this person. No way. No way in hell are these two persons same. Why is this not? I don't want to save his picture. I'm too loud. I'm too loud for my home. See, these are not same people. How can you say that? He has a mustache. This guy doesn't. Bro, speedy gechilo. Cadbury Oreo chocolates. Yeah, these are all owned by this entity.
The most important people in that same year. In 1980, Dart Industries merged with Kraft, one of the biggest mergers in U.S. history at the time, but then they separated from each other in 1986. A decade later, Tupperware was spun off into its own company, and that is how they have operated ever since. I know, that is a lot. I recommend this video I made about Kraft if you want to hear a little more detail, but right here, I'm just theorizing that all of this was distracting and potentially harmful to the brand. Shortly after that merger with Kraft is when everything started going downhill for Tupperware, especially in the United States. By 1992, most of their sales were coming from other countries, and they have yet to regain their footing in the U.S., with less than a third of their 2022 sales.
Anupam Kher, brother, this guy was probably. Oh no. Hey, this is an interesting video. How Tim Cook plays both sides and wins. He always tries to impress China and America, and he does both great, and that's why he's one of the greatest CEOs alive.
Coming from
Okay,
North
watch that.
America.
That's a very
And when Dart
important
and
one.
Kraft
We'll watch it
separated, one of
right
the main
after
reasons
this.
was
I
likely
really want to
because
watch that.
Tupperware was
That
underperforming
is such
so
an
much to a point where
interesting
Kraft
thing to
didn't
know.
want to be involved with it. And then shortly after Tupperware became its own company, it started acquiring unrelated companies, mostly involved with beauty products. The most notable example is a $560 million deal that they made with Sara Lee in 2005 that caused them to rename the company Tupperware Brands Corporation to reflect that they had multiple brands. Again, it could be argued that all of this was distracting, pulling Tupperware away from their core business and maybe even giving up on it to an extent in favor of exploring new things. My next reason on the list is probably less significant than the others, but I feel like I should mention some external factors that have been complicating things. Their CEO made a statement saying the company's financial position has been severely impacted by the challenging macroeconomic environment, talking about things like inflation and interest rates. The pandemic has likely been a factor, with fewer parties and get-togethers, meaning fewer sales for Tupperware, along with higher material costs specifically for fall and sickness. Is another shorthand. Everything about respond to competition much and what they
Yeah,
preserve
we get it, we
and
get it, we
put
get
as
it, we
moral
get
before
it. This
Tupperware
company
says, I'd like to.
That was seriously a very underwhelming clip that I really hope was better.
Tim Cook has just 2 weeks ago proven that he is the most cunning CEO of our times. That is not a very popular opinion, but perhaps by the end of this video you will agree with me. The genius of Steve Jobs was fairly obvious for anyone to see. He was the guy behind the Mac, the iPod.
Do you watch documentaries on science? Yes, brother, I do. And yes, I would get back to your question. You have asked me a question a long time ago, which was, what movies do you like? And I have pretty straightforward answers. Answers that are might not as controversial to my chat as the previous ones. Or might just be as much. Wait. I have to really show my face. I want to make sure I don't show anything that I do not want to see. Show. Yeah. Hi guys. How's your day, man? It's so late, and you're probably in your bed watching something, and I'm glad you chose this. I'm really glad. I'm still looking for my favorite movies and TV shows. I had them written. I had them in a place. I would just copy them and I'll show them. I don't want to open my Google Lens. Sorry, whatever this is. Where's my favorite movie list? That is such a stupid thing to have, but I have that. Okay, what kind of documentaries do you suggest, and what kind of content do you usually see when you are at your home? um well, what, कल छुट्टी होगी, yeah, of course, कल तो everyone's holiday. It's a very chill day. uh, Man, I am. Oh yeah, I got it. I got my favorite movies and shows list. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll be back in a second. Let me open my. So these are my favorite movies. Uh, Finding Nemo at first. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen, it's a must. Maze Runner series. I have watched everything. I have a list of the things I have watched, and it's 1,000 movies in English. Around 1,000, more than that, 1,100 something. And mother, always when I watch a stream instead of actually getting some sleep. Yeah, not complaining. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That is such a nice thing to say. Particle fever, black hole, the edge we will search for them. Okay, I'll definitely do that. But let's break this down. First, we have Finding Nemo. It's my favorite movie. My dad used to have a projector. We put it in our walls, and we used to watch Finding Nemo a lot. That's the same movie we did. The next one is Back to the Future. It's a classic 80s movie. It's about time travel, and it's a fun, light-hearted movie. I tend to, and the third one is Green Book. This is an Academy Award nominated movie. I think it won Best Actor or Best Picture. Last time I checked, I am not sure. But this is an amazing movie. This is reflecting about racism and how things were in America towards black people, and it really tells a beautiful story of two people in a car. That's it. Two people in a car. Up. The next movie is Up. Who doesn't love Up? Up is such an amazing movie. It's like filled with gut wrenching stuff. And then I have Shutter Island. Everyone has Shutter Island in their top, like Fi- Finding Dory, तैरते रहो बस तैरते रहो. Yeah, it is an amazing, like I saw the Hindi dubbing. That's what Dory used to say. तैरते रहो. Yeah, I remember this. Wall-E is probably one of my favorite movies. Wall-E is such an amazing movie. It's a heartbreaking movie. It heals something inside you. It's such an amazing movie. Shutter Island, it's such an amazing movie. I still don't understand what happened at the end. Is Leonardo DiCaprio a mad person, or is he genuinely an investigator, and like the Mark Ruffalo is the liar? It's such an amazing. And sixth one is probably the weirdest of them all. Teesmar Khan. It's a Hindi movie. It's a classic Bollywood garbage, and I have no complaints. This is a brain rot movie, and a part of me loves brain rot, and it's something. It's a comfort movie, and like they ho. That's an amazing movie. Coco is a great movie. Man, you are just listing a bunch of good movies. Wally, Coco. These are amazing Disney Plus movies, like Disney movies, or like Pixar, whatever. I think Coco is Disney and Wally is Pixar. Anyways, that doesn't matter. Both are on the same company. Ghostbusters. When is it Bollywood brain rot? Shit, bhai. Yes, Bollywood is always brain rot. Everything in Bollywood is mostly brain rot. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's a movie that's very close to my heart. Like, it's a very special movie for me. And I will recommend this to everyone. If you are a fan of comedy, if you are a fan of good humor, and this is like a dystopian, like a comedian at a lockdown, and this is such an amazing, um, like a drama musical comedy. It's not even a comedy. You would be serious the entire time, but this is an amazing storytelling. It's one of the finest storytellings I've ever seen in my entire life. And whenever I'm feeling sad, and like whenever I'm at a break in a down period, I listen. Inception, Dark Knight. I feel like they're very overrated. I hate to say this. Inception, I loved. I don't really like Dark Knight. It's fine. It's good. It's a good movie, but it's not like very close to my heart. They are good movies. So is Godfather. So is 12 Angry Men. So is Schindler's List. But they can't be close to my heart. Something which is close to my heart is something that has real repercussions. I really cried. No one cries watching Dark Knight. No one does. It just feels like, oh, this is a good movie. No, I don't want that. I want to cry. Maximum of these movies made me cry. Made me cry. Nemo made me cry. Green Book, every of the one of this these Markhan never did. Guardians did. Greatest Showman is a musical comedy of everything everywhere all at once. It's an amazing movie. Is it your one of the favorite movies? This is are my favorite movies. And let's go down to my favorite shows. You did not ask for this, but I have this ready. Coco. We have talked about Coco. Okay. Yeah, we can do this. Anyways, we have Ted Lasso at the first. It's my isn't Bo the one? Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet is a song from Bo Burnham's Inside. Also that Jeff, like come on Jeffrey, you can do it. Pave the way, put you back into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at what you came from. Look at us now. That song is also Bo Burnham. These are all songs of Inside. These songs were popular from Inside. You watch that show, that is the entire thing, like 1 hour 30 minutes of the entirety. That's a great thing to see. If Neil, if trust me, you would love it. That's a great thing to watch. Silicon Valley is a classic show that reflects the American California Silicon Valley tech sector. If you are anywhere close to tech or IT, I think it's a given thing that you should watch. It's a hilarious thing to watch. It's amazing. Crashing is another thing. Crashing is about a comedian and the story of how a person becomes a comedian. Um, no, not this crashing. No, this is not the crashing I'm talking about. This is the crashing I'm talking about. Pete Holmes is already a very popular comedian in America, and in these shows, a lot of popular comedians have, like um, cameos in this one. It's a very good show if you want to watch. All of them are in Geo Hotstar. Everything I would mention, except probably Stranger Things and Severance, is on Geo Hotstar. So just be casual about it. Game of Thrones, of course, who'd have not watched Game of Thrones? The Last of Us, who have not watched Last of Us? These are like the standard. Oh, kill me! These are the amazing things I want to watch. Uh, Stranger Things is one of the first things I have seen in my entire life in television, and it reflected to me in a great manner. The Office is a hilarious comedy sitcom, the only sitcom I really love. No, actually not. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well. I love Friends, How I Met Your Mother. I don't like How I Met Your Mother much, but Modern Family. I don't like Big Bang Theory too. It's like okay, fine. We should rank the sitcoms. Should we rank the sitcoms? Are you people even aware of the sitcoms? Tier list. Should we do that? Should we do that instead? Train to Busan is a lovely movie. Someone has already made this tier list. So go to the template. Let's make a tier list listing for ourselves. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Uniqlo has so many ads. Marvel Livers has so many ads. Report this ad. Report this ad. Not appropriate, not interested. That's just, I don't know what this is. I'll put it on D. I'll change this. Got tier. Amazing. Good. Okay. Garbage. Yeah, that would be my list. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. Anything Mission Impossible. Not seen. 30 Rock, I have heard about and seen. It's okay. Arrested Development is okay. Big Bang Theory is good. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is god tier for me. Community is okay for me. Curb Your Enthusiasm is amazing. Everybody hates Chris. I have not seen. Everybody loves it. I have not seen. I have not seen this. This Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is okay for me. Friends is good for me. Or actually amazing for me. Full House is okay. George Lopez, I have heard about, never seen this. How I Met Your Mother is good for me. Always Sunny is amazing. I have not seen this. Malcolm in the Middle is good. Married, I don't know this. Martin, don't know. Modern Family, let's put don't know. Just put that. Parks and Rec is got you. If you have not watched Parks and Rec, go watch it. It's one of the best shows, one of the best sitcoms. Modern Family, out of the how many? How do you know these many movies? How do you get introduced to so many movies? IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, and like uh, I used to watch a lot of movies during my lockdown period. I watched like 800, 900 movies and like ton of shows. I was like basically entirety of Hollywood was gobbled up by me. I never saw any anime though. That's not Hollywood either. I'm not saying that it is. Um, uh, and a lot of Hindi movies when I like got brought up, and a lot of English movies at the same time. But I really reflected upon like after that I had a keen interest in knowing. Wait, there is okay. Where is Modern Family? Okay, we will add Modern Family. Calm down. Okay, but yeah, after that I started keeping up with you know the releases of movies that made it interesting. Like, and then I started watching indie movies, small movies. Those are good. That's basically it. Like, it's not just even like, yeah, it's here. See, that's so easy. Let's do. Man, this guy's obsessed with Modern Family. This guy's obsessed with Modern Family. Modern Family is amazing for me. Nowadays, slow down, though. Nowadays, there are not no good shows. Yeah, see, this is my list. This is the things I watch. This is a daily routine of things I would like to watch, and I would suggest everyone to do this. But this is a high maintenance. I am a serious psychopath, and I do this on a daily basis, and I follow this on a daily basis. It's baffling. So I have not watched 4 episodes of Severance. That's piled up. I should have watched it. This from the previous one. I've slipped onto this. 12th, I should have watched Mythic Quest episode 8. I have no time. I don't know why. I would watch it tomorrow. You will see this empty. There is Win or Lose. There's another show I was watching made by Pixar. I would say it's a must watch if you have Hotstar. Then I'll watch Severance, Electric State, Moana 2 would come on digital, so I have to let my parents know about it. They are fan of the first Moana movie. Then Daredevil will have a new episode, Mythic Quest, Severance, and this is basically my entire list of things I would like to watch. It includes Microsoft events, Apple events, the Game Awards, Oscars, Emmys, Squid Games 3, what not, Super Mario 2, Star Wars Day, anything of note, anything eventful that I'm looking forward to is kept here. That's like a routine. I follow it. And things like, let's say there are things you know that are coming in 2025, but you don't know the date. Let's say Stranger Things 5, Knives Out 3, Wonder Man, Peacemaker 2. You don't know the date. So I dump it here so that I can check what are the things I have to watch and I add them to the list. Slumdog Millionaire, yes, don't ask me. I have watched everything. I'll show you the list. Have you watched all of Squid Games? There are 2 seasons of it. Yeah, I have seen it. And there are things like I have to watch, I have to play. These are things that I have added up. I am a mad person at these things, man. Let's go back to this thing. We will add Scrubs. I don't know. Seinfeld is okay to me. People will be offended because Jerry Seinfeld is called the icon. He's the greatest comedian ever, according to a lot of people. Not for me. I don't. I didn't like his humor. It's fine. It's people's choice. I don't know. What are these? That 70s show. I have seen this. Good. No, it's not good. It's okay. Office is God tier. Two and a Half Men is okay. This would be my tier list. This would be my tier list. This the top half. This will be. Anyways, that's all. Okay, let's go back. There's Office. There's Severance. Severance is an amazing show currently running on Apple TV Plus. It's a must watch. There's Succession, a show in HBO. It's also a great show about a big media company CEO finally quitting, and he is going to give it to one of their following children or family. They are going to give $1 billion company to someone, 71 billion or something like that. Rupert, it's basically an imitation of Rupert Murdoch. And then it's an Indian show called Rocket Boys. It's about um, basically how Indian Space Division was started. Like during the time Indira Gandhi was the prime minister, and no, Netaji, I think Jawaharlal Nehru was the prime minister, not Netaji. What the fuck? Jawaharlal Nehru was the prime minister. Apple TV has great shows. I've observed quite consistent. Apple TV, brother, let me tell you, they are the modern HBO. Like, if you go to HBO, you won't get disappointed. Look at this. They have F1. Wait, why is this? Wait, why is this in Hindi? I hate this. Wait, let me fix it. Yeah, there's Formula One, the new movie coming up. There's a great show called Mythic Quest. It's a great show about a movie. It's a sitcom about a game studio. a game studio developing a game. Ted Lasso is an amazing show. It is my favorite show. It's about football, and like a sitcom. It's a 3 season very good show. It's the best show that Apple TV had before Severance. These are the Silo is a great show. Like there are a lot of good shows. Ghosted, The Wolves with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, Greyhound by Tom Hanks. This is a stacked like this service has one of the Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon. These are not bad things. Presume anything you pick up from here are good, amazing. It's crazy. No, okay. This is a really quality streaming service. I really am impressed. That's like living up to Apple standards. You know, Apple is always premium. They have no bullshit things. This is what they have. Rocketry, someone has talked about Rocketry is basically the struggle of launching, and that is a different aspect. This is about the scientists and the how Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, who was the founder of Center, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the founder of ISRO. This is a story of how they came together. APJ Abdul Kalam is there. A lot of great scientists are there. There is even like talks about Oppenheimer and stuff. This is basically the movie starts right when like the show starts right when America has attacked Japan, and this is like the precipice of World War III. India is an independent after no, India has just become independent, and they want a nuclear power. They want to be a nuclear power, and how these scientists pull off this feat. This is a 2 season limited series, and I swear to God, this is a good show. Gravity movie is available on Amazon Prime. We have yes, I have watched Gravity. I think isn't Gravity the one with Chris Pratt? I'm getting confused with something else. Gravity. Oh my God, they are giving me the explanation of Gravity. Gravity, the movie. No, that is not the Chris Pratt movie. This is the other one. Yeah, I have seen this. This is a good movie. Rumors has it Samsung has a new headphone coming. Like, okay, that's not a big deal. Okay, there we yapped a lot about some things, man. That is crazy. People just heard me yap. Okay, before that, we have a great thumbnail for our previous stream. Let me upload this. And let's give props to Shantan for making 2 consecutive great thumbnails. So we will put a GG here, and we will go straight to okay. Why did we turn that off? Okay, we'll go to the previous stream, and we would just change the thumbnail. Give me a second. I'm sure you guys can wait for a second, right? Yeah, how do we change? Yeah, change. We have this image. ओपेनहाइमर मूवी देखने हॉल में गया था बोर हो गया नो मैन दैट्स एन अमेजिंग मूवी इफ यू आर बोर्ड वाचिंग ओपेनहाइमर डोंट वॉच रॉकेट बॉयज I mean it. If you don't have the attention, like you can't focus on a 3 hour serious movie, you cannot watch a 10 hour. You can't even watch Severance for that matter. Severance is a very dark, serious story told. No bullshit. No, like it's a very slow paced story. Yeah. Anyways, let's. Okay, wait. What happened? Yeah, there's only 2 things here. There should be a what is that? Twitter here. Yeah. Man, this is the amount of crazy I am. Let's see how Tim Cook plays both sides.
iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. But this is decidedly not where the strength of Tim Cook lies. The most successful devices launched during his tenure were the Apple Watch and the AirPods, which are both accessories to Steve Jobs' iPhone, and meanwhile the Vision Pro has so far failed to change the world. And yet it is Tim Cook who made Apple the world's most valuable company, increasing their value 25 times over since he became the CEO 14 years ago. And 8 of those years even happened during the biggest trade war of our time, where
Is this a phenomenon? Are people like always available at 1 a.m. at night? This is the highest, like most viewed most people watch at this time. What's wrong, man? What's going on with you people? That's crazy. I would definitely tune in more at this time.
where Apple really should have been uniquely badly exposed. After all, it is the US company with the biggest reliance on both Chinese manufacturing and Chinese consumers by far. Trump and the Chinese government both have massive leverage and great incentives to strong-arm Apple, but instead, Tim Cook has managed to secure more support than ever for his company from both sides. And now, with international tensions on the rise everywhere, Cook is plotting his most elaborate plan yet. And if he can pull this one off too, I think he'll be cemented as one of the greatest CEOs of all time.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how he really. What's wrong with my stream? Why is it still jittery? Man, wait, let me go back. Yeah, it's still jittery, right? Yeah, I don't know why. Is my stream jittery? That's suspicious. Anyways, it's amazing that Oppenheimer is great, far better than Slob Marvel has been putting off overused joke, lack of serious tension. No, Neil, watch Daredevil, Born Again. the new one, you would stop talking about Marvel like that. Yeah, I used to talk about Marvel like that, but after what they have released, the new 3 episodes, who let them cook, man? That is absolute cinema to me. All of the 3 episodes, they are doing some serious shit. This is not any other Disney Plus Marvel spin-off. This is not some jargon they are putting on. This is good stuff. Hold on to it, man.
This video was sponsored by my streaming service, Nebula. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, his company was in a state of ruin. Its former management left it bleeding cash, talent, and customers, and so Jobs decided that they needed major reforms in 2 areas. First, Apple needed radically better products, which Jobs jumped on himself very publicly. But quietly and behind the scenes, an equally important task was the reinvention of how those products would actually be made, and for that, he brought in Tim Cook as one of his first hires. Apple had historically been producing its Macintosh computers in-house in California, with Jobs proudly
To be honest, I did not like this new Christopher. I had high expectations. I got disappointed. Why, man? Why did you get disappointed? It was the best movie of the year. Did you see how many Oscars it got? The implications, it really encapsulated. The movie was not supposed to be, twisty and turny. And have you seen Tron Legacy? Yeah, it's a dystopian future story. It's fun-faced, it's charisma. This movie was never swear to be charisma. This movie was going to be utterly serious because the topic was not something funny. It's about nuclear warfare. It's about millions of people dying in an instant, in just a snap of a finger. And the creator of that bomb, it was never supposed to be something, oh bhai, it is going to be crazy. No, it was supposed to be a display and portrayal of history. And it achieved that feat. If you think about it, it achieved that feat. I cannot imagine in any world people caring and giving a shit in such a way that it was like $900 million movie. It was about to be a billion dollar movie. Oppenheimer box office returns. This man made Oppenheimer a household name again. Who knew him before this? Yeah, people from the past, people who know about science, people who are talking about science, the streams, the stuff. Man, is my camera the shit one to do this? Wait, no, my camera is fine here. Why is my stream capturing such a shit camera movement, like 15 FPS stuff? Wait, let me see. Is my, yeah, it's fine here as well. But it's getting in a shit way. Dropped 25% frames an hour ago. Okay, something's wrong. Something's deeply wrong, my brothers. I changed some things like the video bitrate and stuff, and now the entire system is sabotaging me. It was so fine. Why did I tweak stuff? Yeah, anyways, I have to fix it again. Probably reducing my output. The video bitrate for streaming. What is streaming? Okay, yeah, anyways, doesn't matter. Let's go back to the stream. Let's watch. Okay, yeah. How much was the box office? 976 billion. Yeah, about to be a billion. Yeah, see? Do you think any other person would have achieved this kind of a impact about a story so depth? I don't think so. It was a good movie. And so was Barbie. Both of them. Barbie said a great thing. Barbie was an amazing story. I watched both of them and I was not disappointed by any one of them. In fact, to be honest, I had low expectations for Barbie. It outperformed my expectations. Of course, Oppenheimer, it's a movie made by Christopher Nolan. But Greta Gerwig, she's not bad. She's amazing. And that story, the story, the meaning, the reason that was told made complete sense to me. Or both of them, Barbenheimer performed. It really slapped hard. It hit hard. It was truly like a time of a generation.
saying that, quote, this is a machine that is made in America just a decade or so earlier. But Cook had previously worked for the PC giant Compaq, who had long embraced outsourcing, and as their supply chain expert, he was tasked to help Apple make the transition to outsourcing too. Compaq was, for example, one of the first major customers of Foxconn who made cases for their PCs. Cook convinced them to jump over to Apple and to, for example, make their aluminum alloy case for the Power Mac G5. Over time, he wooed a host of other suppliers who would become critical to Apple, from TSMC to Samsung and more over as well, and he tied them together into a massive web that was
Tata is one of them.
perfectly tuned to bring the parts to life that Apple's designers and engineers dreamed up. Unlike Jobs, who was almost tyrannical at times, Cook was quiet, incredibly likable, and able to convince partners to take almost impossible bets on the company. Foxconn, for example, was reportedly convinced to assemble the original iPhone at a clear loss because they're convinced that doing so would help them win Apple's trust and more lucrative contracts further down the line. They were not wrong, of course, and many others followed. If Jobs' focus on dreaming
Bro is just listing movies. Quiet place. Wait. I'm showing you a list of the movies. Wait, give me a sec. I'm showing you the list of the movies I have watched till date. Wait, calm down. I'm making you the list. Give me a sec. Let me open my notepad. I will scroll it really fast. You watch it 2.5x later. Give me a second, man. It's basically done. I just have to remove my, you know, Google Keep. I don't want to show it on stream. Yeah, I'll show it. Yeah, see, this is the list of the movies I have watched. That was the actual clip of Obama speech after the bomb dropped. It's haunting stuff. Yeah, that man gone crazy after this. So this is the list of the movies I've watched. I don't want to break any one of them down because this is basically line number 1122. So this is just English movies, and you can see at the bottom right corner here. I don't know. Yeah, see there. Line 1122 is the like remove the first line, the second line. Let's remove them. It's just watched. Wait. Let's remove that. And the first one, yeah. So let's go to the last line. Zootopia. That's the last one. So 1,120 movies. Do you know Microsoft copied from Apple? Yes, brother, I know. Actually, no. Both of them saw the thing and Xerox, the innovation company, and both of them decided to ship it with the product, which was at the time Mac, the new Lisa, the Macintosh. And Microsoft, what they did, Bill Gates went there and he released the Microsoft Windows for the previous Mac, the Mac 1, Apple 2, and that got huge. Share sub kar do, make a group and share. The list, brother, the list. Okay, I'll make this list available on IMDb or something and you can fetch it. I'll make sure you get that in the description. These are like, it would take you years to watch this amount of movies because this is not lockdown. This is not something you will see a lot of movies. Yeah, let me do it slowly. These are just English movies. I have not given you the Hindi movie. Hindi movie list is far shorter than this, like 1/5 of this, but still, it's a lot. And it's alphabetically ordered, so you won't have any problem. And this also has some stand-up comedies inside it, so just be picky about it. Anyways, yeah.
up new products was Apple's yin, then Cook's focus on finding the right partners and making sure that everything was actually built efficiently was their yang. And perhaps Cook's most important partnership was the one that he built with China. He didn't just accept the country, he fully embraced them. Designed by Apple in California, made in China. The second half of the sentence is the legacy of the first 20 years of Tim Cook at Apple, and this partnership has been incredibly lucrative for them so far. Early on, most of the negotiating and relationship building was reportedly done on behalf of Cook by Terry Kuo, the charismatic CEO and founder of Foxconn. He frequently visited the country, he wined and dined with local politicians, and lobbied them for favorable treatment on
Gram
behalf
par
of his client.
share kar do telly. No. I'll do an IMDb. Wait. IMDb is a better experience, man. For movies, if you want to explore movies, this is the website. This is owned by Amazon. It means IMDb has IMDb full form. Let me show you. What does IMDb is? Internet Movie Database. This is the one of the oldest websites for publishing. This has lists. So let's say you can search for best movies ever. You can get like, where is the playlist? Okay, you can do that. Best movies ever IMDb list. And you can go to the IMDb list of top 250 greatest movies of all time. That includes Shawshank Redemption, Godfather, Dark Knight, Godfather 2, 12 Angry Men, and so on and so on and so on and so on. That's just an endless list of, and I saw, see, Oppenheimer is on 15. There's a lot of movies. If you see this entire list, you will be a certified cinephile. And Drishyam is 250th. So that's crazy. It's a good movie. A bunch of PlayStation hardware is on sale today. PS Astrobot consoles. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, who won? Atletico. Okay. Roma. Yeah, Roma was playing so nice. Ajax and Frankfurt. Frankfurt won. Ajax lost. So stupid. Yeah. Anyways, um, sorry, I get so brain rotted sometimes.
Science and support is what they got unlike
ये YouTube पे मेरा comment delete. ये YouTube मेरा comment क्यों delete करता है? I don't know, man.
any other, like, for example, in what's colloquially called iPhone City. A New York Times investigation revealed that the Chinese government basically built a whole city for Apple, including spending $600 million on a manufacturing complex, $1 billion on the housing of workers. The government built massive energy infrastructure, gave loans, helped recruit and train workers, paid various subsidies and bonuses, eliminated corporate taxes and value-added taxes for 5 years, and also
YouTube
created the
censors
so-called
stuff.
bonded zone, an area inside China that the country
That is true.
essentially considers
Like,
foreign
not
soil.
only YouTube, sometimes I get the permission of showing a comment if that's offensive to me. So like I can, like, let's say I do that for Quiet Place. I would remove the text called Quiet Place so that, see, a message above is retracted.
Subject to different
There are things from my end I can do as well to retract it, but I did not do it. I am not telling that I did. I did not. I did not delete your comments if that was in my chat.
import and export rules, and iPhone City is just one of multiple production sites built on behalf of Apple in the country. Tim Cook negotiated conditions for what are perhaps the world's best factories with perhaps the world's best conditions, and combined with the ability of Jobs to make hit products, the company seemed unstoppable. Everything was going well and in balance until, of course, Steve Jobs passed away. And perhaps unexpectedly, he suggested that Cook should be his successor. At first, this didn't really make sense to me. It seemed to me that Apple would both need a new brilliant product person and Tim Cook to together work their magic.
ग्राम वो टेली वाली बात कर रहा था. Oh yeah, you can't talk about Telegram on YouTube comments because a lot of people spam Telegram numbers and stuff. So you can't use the word Telegram. You can't even say gr@m. You can't do that. And but I don't use Telegram much. I don't like that stuff. Telegram is only for me to dump file a lot of pictures to someone. That's only the thing I use Telegram for. And otherwise, it's horrible. Like the shit apps, Telegram bots are notorious. Yeah, I don't want to use it. That's the reason. I know what Telegram bots can do and what are the things that happen on Telegram, and that's why consciously I try to avoid the application as much as I can. I don't like that.
But in retrospect, that didn't seem to be the case. Around Jobs' death, Apple had already entered an altogether different era. With the iPhone, the iPad, and the Mac, Apple already had what would be the biggest consumer-facing computing categories covered. The products didn't fundamentally need to be reinvented for the next decade or two at least. They just needed iterations, and Jobs left behind a team that would be more than capable of doing that. Instead, the goal was now to push these products much harder than ever before, and that didn't really require massive innovation, but instead politics and deal-making. And that, as it turned out, is Tim Cook's unparalleled gift. He can play all sides simultaneously like a fiddle. The most impressive and recent example of this is this press release that Apple put out about 2 weeks ago. In it, the company announced that it will spend more than $500 billion in the US over the next 4 years. This is a document that is very obviously framed to please President Trump. After all, the man even 9 years ago made it one of his campaign promises to bring Apple's manufacturing back to the US.
We're going to get things coming. We're going to get Apple to start building their damn computers and things in this country instead of in other countries.
And the press release, at least at first glance, appears like Apple was doing exactly that. The company describes the $500 billion as being their largest ever spent commitment. They're saying that they're opening a new manufacturing facility in Houston. They're doubling Apple's US advanced manufacturing fund from $5 billion to $10 billion. They plan to hire around 20,000 highly skilled people in the US. And finally, they're opening a new manufacturing academy in Detroit for good measure, too. As you can imagine, the media and Trump, of course, had a field day with this. Everything about this document is a political masterpiece because it simultaneously lets Trump loudly claim to his followers that he is bringing US manufacturing back to the US using his policies, while also not actually requiring Apple.
It can be, yeah, it can be used. My brother itself used Telegram to get question papers and sample papers about his exams, and also a lot of notifications about hiring and stuff. There are a lot of good things that Telegram can do. Because I just tend to stay away from it. I don't like the clutter. I tend to prefer a social media app should be just. I just don't like Telegram. The app does not seem good to me. UI doesn't feel intuitive to me. Is that all? Is that what I can do?
To do pretty much anything at all. Let's read this document a little bit closer to see what I mean. That $500 billion figure, which is Apple's largest spent commitment ever, of course, is a huge figure. It sounds like a lot, except those included $350 billion in 2018 and then $430 billion in 2021, and those pretty much lead directly in a straight line to $500 billion today. Yes, the number did go up, but of course Apple also grew proportionally in that time period, and of course all the other tech companies are in a massive spending frenzy due to AI right now, and so Apple's $500 billion figure is kind of expected, or like exactly in the middle of the pack, nothing particularly surprising. Same with the figure of 20,000 new jobs. First of all, they're all in R&D, silicon engineering, software development, and AI and machine learning, which all sounds very good. But of course, those are all jobs that Apple had traditionally hired for in the US anyway. I mean, the first half of the sentence goes designed by Apple in California, and all of those roles fall under that bucket, while 20,000 new hires is also about what you'd expect from Apple over 4 years in a massive AI hype cycle. So far, they've only really put shiny numbers on pretty much business as usual, but the next part actually gets really smart. They say they are doubling Apple's US advanced manufacturing fund from $5 billion to $10 billion, and I find this particularly entertaining. First of all,
social media do you prefer? I would ideally prefer only WhatsApp, but yeah, Only WhatsApp. That could be all. And maybe Instagram, maybe Twitter. I love Twitter. Okay, I have to keep Twitter alive. Although not under Elon Musk regime. If I had the power to use Twitter of the Jack Dorsey era, I would use that. The previous CEO, the previous owner. Apple Music and Spotify best क्या है? I use Spotify. The user interface is far superior. I have used Apple Music for 6 to 8 months. It was not good for me, and I feel a big FOMO when there is Wrapped. Spotify Wrapped is a great FOMO. I have also used YouTube Music Premium. I have used Amazon Prime Premium. I have used Tidal. Um, Jio Savan I've also used. Ghana I've also used. Airtel Wink Music I've also used. But I finally settled to Spotify. That's the place which it feels like I'm going to listen to music to. And they have also introduced music videos and stuff. Discord is great. Discord is just for my friends, just for my personal people. That's fine. I have every social media available. I am a very facing individual, not a company. I'm not a company. I'm a very tech facing individual. So I have profiles everywhere. Like even LinkedIn and Zomato. I have like a profile kept everywhere. That's not an issue, but I tend not to use. Like I have all the options. I have Blue Sky. I have Mastodon. I have Threads, and I have Twitter. I have all of these platforms, and I also have Donald Trump's Truth Social. Like, believe it or not, even though I don't like that person, don't like the but I wanted to use because of the user interface. I'm a very finicky person who loves applications and websites. I really like to discover new things. So it's a great way to interact with new products. I feel good experimenting with new stuff, and you would see a lot of this in this channel as well. Like I will use new products, like I would use the Manus AI very soon, and you would be able to see that. That's content for you, and that's fun for me. Both of them at the same time.
Because a fund, it sounds like kind of a concrete thing, right? You think there's maybe like a special bank account that maybe Tim Cook has just sent another $5 billion to or something like that. But no, it doesn't actually get defined anywhere in the document. It just gets created out of thin air. It is just a concept that I think it doesn't actually mean anything. Most likely, this fund is just a name that Apple gave to a bunch of money that they say they will spend on buying US components at some point in the future. There is no specific time frame attached to it as far as I can find, and so one can double it pretty much at will. But better yet, the biggest thing that this fund will pay for are chips from TSMC's new Arizona fab. And Apple boasting that this is somehow their achievement and potentially even that of Trump is absolutely hilarious if you think about it. This, of course, isn't a fab that Apple built. That was TSMC. It is also not a fab that Apple financed. That was, again, TSMC and Joe Biden's government who gave them $6.6 billion in subsidies from their CHIPS Act. An act that Trump is right now trying to kill, by the way, by firing its workers. Apple's whole job was graciously accepting that they will buy chips from a world-class fab that was basically handed to them at a discount. The fab, of course, has already went live before Trump entered office, and according to Tim Cobbin, it already started making the A16 and S9 chips for Apple already. And so, in other words, Apple buying from them is already a given too. But of course, Tim Cook is a master politician, and so he's packaged all of this up into something called Apple's US Advanced Manufacturing Fund, which implies that all of this is an achievement of Apple and potentially Trump. Smart. Okay, for the next two statements, I'm going to be a little bit more brief because I think you already got the point. Apple claims that they have a new manufacturing facility in Houston that will make, wait for it, AI servers. Now, AI servers sounds like an incredibly strategically important path, and maybe it is, but in the context of manufacturing, the thing that it is Apple's lowest volume product, perhaps ever. The factory will almost certainly just assemble ready-made components, and together with the Mac Pro, which is already made in the US too, it will probably make up less than 1% of Apple's manufacturing combined. The factory is also rumored to be from Foxconn, so of course Apple won't build it itself, and its primary job will pretty clearly be to serve as basically a showroom where politicians can be taken for photo ops. All the high-volume production and anything requiring complex miniaturization, like a watch or a phone, for example, actually remains abroad. And finally, let's talk about a new manufacturing academy in Detroit, which you'll be surprised to hear, Apple actually gave no real
Man,
details
this is
about.
such an evil Jugadu way. These things will come to fruition either way, but they are just advertisement. The Apple is such a great advertisement company. They advertised the entire thing they were planning to do, even though Trump wanted it or not, just at the right time so that Trump was pleased. Please change your mic. I can't hear you clearly. I will, brother. Wow, that's a that's a request indeed. Wow. Okay, is that audible now? Because I have wait. You know what? Let's do the rest of the stream like this. You like this? Why are you laughing? Why am I laughing? I don't know, brother. Why are you laughing? Is this better? Is this better?
Either. An academy in Detroit could be anything from a giant university to basically a single room with two random dudes who occasionally host a class if they feel like it. They didn't actually tell us which one it is or where in the spectrum it is, so that makes me think it is closer to the second. In other words, this document perfectly encapsulates Tim Cook's brilliance. He gave Trump a fantastic list of things to brag about with big numbers and all the right words. He even met the president just before
Man, I
putting
have
out
to
the press
wake up
release.
tomorrow early. I was supposed to wake up early. I have to play Holi. But yet I'm streaming here like a shameless person at 1:40 in the morning.
So newsrooms couldn't miss
This
the
is
connection
crazy.
even if they wanted to. During the last presidency of Trump, his similar negotiations led to his company's products being given specific exemptions from Chinese tariffs so that they could continue to be imported freely into the US. And you can bet that he's angling for similar concessions with what he's doing here now too. Brilliantly, these statements have not really cost Apple anything meaningful so far, and they've also helped Apple avoid upsetting any of their other international partners as well. Because guess what? Trump is not the only party that Cook has to keep happy. There's of course also China. The elephant in the room is of course China, who somehow still continues to support Apple to this day. Just as an example, a few years ago when factories producing Apple products were suffering pandemic-related labor shortages, the Chinese government immediately sent large numbers of military veterans and Communist Party members to try to help the factories get back on track. Now that smells like a bromance. And just as importantly, China is still Apple's second largest market, with iPhones being absolutely ubiquitous in any wealthy Chinese city. And remember that while this was happening, Huawei was getting sanctioned,
Man.
TikTok was almost forced to sell, Tencent was designated as a military company,
This is an amazing feat of finesse that Tim Cook has, making sure both of the parties are satisfied. I can hearing cracking sounds. Wait. Is this even barely good? Is this evenly good? Barely. I have to make sure I hear my audio even. Is this evenly good? Barely. I have to make sure I hear my audio even. Man, what happened to my audio then? Yeah, I get it. My audio is muffled. I get it. I'll fix it, okay? I'll fix it. I have to buy a mic. It costs like 2000 rupees. Where should I get 2000 rupees from? Brother, YouTube ain't paying me shit. Wait, where's the wait? They don't love you like I love you. I feel it sounds like I'm talking in a bathroom, right? That's all.
and so on, and it's clear to see that Cook has somehow miraculously managed to keep his company on the good side of the CCP as well. I've already made a whole video explaining all the concessions that Cook made to befriend China
How you purchase new clothes? Damn. These are not new clothes, these are old clothes. Shit.
historically in the first place. That is linked down in the description. And as long as Apple kept their massively profitable production in China, the government was unlikely to do anything drastic to it. There's over 1 million jobs and hundreds of billions of dollars.
Have you purchased new clothes? Oh wow, now you're asking me. Have you? No, I have not. I just made a big purchase and now I don't have money to buy a microphone. I made a big purchase a few days ago. I will buy it. I will buy it like in a week or so. Not now. Like maybe not in a week also. Maybe in a month. I'm not sure. Like I have seen some mics, good mics. Mics with USB. Man, see, these are expensive stuff. What is this JBL mini microphone? Is this any good? Yeah, see, these are expensive. 2699. Cracking sounds. What cracking sound, brother? Wait, is this any? The crackling sounds are from my keyboard. These are the crackling sounds you're talking about. Is this any good? Is this what you're talking about? These are my keyboards. These are my keyboards. Man, you're crazy, man. You are crazy.
Were on the line. But here's the tricky part. While Apple has been able to delay having to move its production out of China, that won't last forever. The company has already started opening factories in other countries like Vietnam, for example, and India in particular is dead set on becoming its next major assembly destination, while the country's Tata Group is angling to become to Apple in India what Foxconn was to them in China. But there are two massive
Damn,
threats
India
that
is the nope for the occasion of Holy. Yeah.
in this transition. The first one was demonstrated by Indonesia just recently, where the government officially banned Apple products from being sold unless they opened a factory in the country. Apple caved, then quickly announced a $1 billion manufacturing plant soon after. Everyone can feel that Apple's massive business is up for grabs, and they'll try both carrots and sticks to get that over to their country. Tim Cook has to navigate all of this, and that won't be easy. But the second and much bigger problem is that Apple can't actually just leave China. For now, Apple is still critically reliant on the country. Its factories abroad still don't have the capacity to cover global demand, and they also still require machines, engineers, training, and components from China. Meanwhile, the country's leadership is extremely keen on keeping it this way. After all, having the world's most valuable company and America's crown jewel critically vulnerable to them is a massive source of leverage. It is a very lucrative neck that they can choke if things get really ugly. In fact, I think one of the big reasons why they didn't actually strike Apple while their own companies were being hurt is that they need Apple to stay as strong and as resilient as possible as a sort of trump card. But the more Apple moves its production out of China, the less this protection
Sony products best. Yeah.
becomes necessary. And if Apple becomes anything close to
Okay.
independent, China doesn't really have an incentive to hold back anymore. You've seen reports of officials getting increasingly strict about what Apple is allowed to move out of the country, including important machines, people, and know-how. And the government also started antitrust investigations into Apple's supposed App Store monopoly in China just recently. Those are very clear warning shots meant to say that Apple is sacred in China as long as it cooperates, but after that, it is not. So far, Tim Cook has brilliantly managed to slowly drift away from China without catastrophic consequences, but now comes his biggest test. Will he be able to complete his decoupling before China's jaws snap shut on his company's neck? If yes, that will be the crowning achievement of him as a CEO. Designed by Apple, perhaps in California, but made no longer in China. And throughout this video, the other iconic American company that you might have been thinking about as one having massive reliance on China is probably Tesla. And if you'd like to hear how they are navigating their tricky situation, then I've made a whole second video about just that is available exclusively on Book More for hidden dollars. Card. All the links are in the description. I hope you
Should
enjoyed
we
the Tesla
watch
video. And
another
see you in the next
video?
one.
Maybe we should watch
This video was made possible by Morning Brew.
Maybe what's inside a microchip.
This-
We will watch this. It's the easy one, small one, easy one.
This is a computer chip magnified 500 times. What you're looking at is the top of a computing city with distinct neighborhoods for different functions. They're linked by up to 100 kilometers of ultra-thin copper lines running across 10 or more stacked levels. At the very bottom, billions of electronic devices generate the digital traffic that pulses across the chip. The most common of these devices is called a transistor. It's a switch that allows current to flow if it receives a voltage. Transistors can be as small as 20 nanometers, and more than 50 billion of them can fit on a single chip. Globally, we produce more than a trillion
How
computer
old
chips.
is this? It said like 29. Oh, that's 2 weeks ago. That's the latest. Do you get bored of celebrating the same festival every year? What? Why would I get bored of celebrating festivals? It's only once a year. Why won't I? It's amazing. Every festival is good.
Every year. That's about 20 trillion transistors built every second. And it's done in fewer than 500 fabrication plants, known as fabs. How do we build so many tiny, intricately connected devices so incredibly fast? The answer involves a technology called photolithography, which helps us build all the devices on a chip simultaneously. It's like constructing all the buildings in a city at the same time. And with no tiny construction crews to help, we build using light as a measuring and sculpting tool. The process starts with a wafer of silicon, which is doused in
This
solvents.
is the first time I understood how the lithography was done. This is phenomenal. Alibaba banned in India. What?
Acids to strip it clean before entering a furnace. Here, oxygen gas reacts with the wafer to form a layer of silicon dioxide. Then a liquid called photoresist is spun on and baked to harden. Next, ultraviolet light selectively illuminates the wafer by passing through or reflecting off a specialized
My
mask.
God.
In the lit areas, a reaction weakens the photoresist's chemical bonds. The wafer is doused in another chemical to wash away that weakened photoresist, leaving an image of the mask. And an etching machine's reactive gases remove the exposed oxide, creating windows that drill the mask's pattern down to the wafer's surface. An implanter then accelerates boron or phosphorus ions and slams them into the patterned openings. These atoms form electropositive or electronegative regions that change silicon's conductivity, creating the foundation of the transistor switch. The etched oxide windows, however, create hill and valley features. Before the next level of copper lines are added, this one's uneven lines must be polished flat to near atomic precision using a sophisticated grinding process called chemical mechanical polishing, or CMP. CMP uses a controlled slurry of submicron ceramic particles to gently scrape and flatten the bumpy features. These fab tools and many others are used hundreds of times on a wafer to create and link transistors into computing
My
logic gates
God,
and to make
that's
connected
genius
neighborhoods for memory
engineering.
storage and compute.
That is like engineering at a like a micro, like a minuscule level. That is so small. That is so intricate, and that is done so accurately. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's genuinely a genius feat of engineering. That it is even feasible at this moment.
Computation. Fabs run around the clock, and it takes about 3 months to transform a single wafer from pure silicon into hundreds of chips. With this continuous operation, fabs consume huge amounts of electricity, water, solvents, acids, bases, process gases, and precious metals. Wafers are processed in ultra-high purity tool chambers, maintained by pumps running constantly to sustain a vacuum that resembles deep space. High-temperature furnaces never turn off. Fab air handlers constantly expel filtered air to corral dust and tiny particles away from wafers. This takes a lot of electricity. The chemicals and purified water used in cleaning create nearly 5 gallons of waste per wafer run, which needs to be filtered and pH treated. Meanwhile, CMP slurries are continually flushed with water to keep their fine particles from forming chunks that would tear apart the fragile copper lines. This adds 5 times more liquid waste. Fabs plow through vast
Wait,
amounts of
which channel is this? Dead Ed. Will they copy strike me? I hope not.
nitrogen and helium
Who
gas
is
to run.
this amazing, like amazing, detailed, and like so simply explained. They go and subscribe to this channel. I would do this. There's such an amazing effort been put into this video. This is so easily understandable.
Run their tools, and other gases used
I was talking about good quality mics which Alibaba sells at affordable rates, but it is banned in India now. Oh, okay. I did not know that. They have good quality mics. But yeah, I have to buy either way, so might as well buy it someday. Yeah, let's see.
And generated in these tools are greenhouse contributors. To minimize their emission, machines called scrubbers decompose and dissolve some gaseous byproducts into treatable wastewater. That uses more electricity and more water. As computing complexity grows, more copper and precious metals are needed to link up chips, and new problems arise. Today, PFAS-based photoresists are essential to make ever smaller features, but PFAS waste in the environment is ending up in our bodies, and it may be harmful. Computer chips are modern marvels that have transformed our world, and the factories that build them are themselves engineering wonders. But as our demand for chips accelerates, their fabrication is hitting hard sustainability limits. Already, some places are beginning to ration water to farmers in favor of running fabs. For the sake of the future of computing and our environment, tomorrow's leaner, cleaner, and greener fabs will need to run even smarter than the very chips they build. Have you ever wondered what exactly makes
That's so true, though.
your smartphone work?
Manufacturing
Take a
is
close
a very uh,
This video was made possible by Morning Brew. This is the plan for India's new government district, which is currently under construction. The Indian government is planning for a massive redevelopment project in the country's capital, New Delhi. However, the new buildings that will serve as the seat of government will not be built in a new location. Rather, the current administrative center, which includes the Indian Parliament, as well as the official seat of the Indian president, will be completely renovated, with total costs estimated at around $2.7 billion. And this project symbolizes a renewal process that has been in the making for a long time.
you know what? We'll watch this next day. We'll watch this some other day. There's only 5 things left. So happy Holi, everyone, and I wish you have a great Holi, a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye. Bye.